Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the lie you tried to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand. We did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning. This is your sign that you can't go run and hide. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the liars try to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. All the liars try to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to
And welcome everyone to Nerd TV for another OP Racing Buttkicker Grand National Series race, live this time from the simulated Talladega Superspeedway. As we got over 40 entries here to kick off the first ever time they're going to use the new Gen 4 car Superspeedway edition. This one's going to be excellent to watch here tonight as we do the countdown to green presented by Icon Apparel Company. And we've got just under 5 minutes left in practice here. Here's the weather on the track this evening. 75 in the skies, 48% humidity, partly cloudy, and almost no wind, so that should not be a factor here this evening. My name is Jeremy Stanley, aka AJ Swifty, and then to my right side, Dustin Logston. What's up, dude?
Oh, man, the day we have been waiting for, Jeremy, to see the OP boys break out the brand new Gen 4 cars tonight. I know it's something that you and I have both been excited to see. We've been waiting for this release on the last update since iRacing announced it way back that they were scanning the 03 Taurus and Chevy. And what a track to break it out on. I mean, Daytona it would be a classic one, but Talladega of all tracks, and of course, Alex Green being the sponsor for tonight's race is no surprise. He loves the Gen 4 cars, loves Talladega, so it's a perfect clash and combination tonight. I think it's going to be an action-packed, wild night tonight.
Yeah, these cars, I've been watching these guys practice. They're goofing off. They're doing some serious laps. And Dustin, these cars are slamming into each other, and they're not wrecking. If you have to really turn into the right rear for them to actually spin out. So, and you can also tango. You can literally lock to the guy's bumper full throttle throughout the entire corner for an entire lap before these things are screaming to cool me off. So, this is something that iRacers aren't used to seeing with stock cars, with netcode and latency and things of that nature prohibit a lot of slamming. But these cars, this is going to be a different beast tonight.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, it's going to be reminiscent from, what we've seen in the early 2000s with this generation car. It's going to be what brought a lot of people to the sport at that certain time frame in that era. And, Jeremy, we spent so many laps, so many hours, so many days, weeks, and months in this car and NR2K3, that's NASCAR Racing 2003 season, which is iRacing's predecessor. So this is like a return home for us. A true 3D laser-scanned model based off of cars from that era, and I can't wait. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, all the NR 2003 fanboys are here to watch this one happen. I still can't believe I'm looking at these cars on track right now, but we're doing things here mid-season. Remember, they tested the ARCA car when it first came out, and they said, no, we're not going to use it. This car hits the service, and these guys are like, put it in right now. Send it. I don't care. No testing. Just do it. So that just shows the level of excitement these guys have to be racing these things. 2 minutes left in this practice, and 42 entries, 41 entries, something like that. And we have Dalton Wilson at the top. Of course, the fan favorite, Anthony English.
44. 44.
So do they not have a limit? I guess if the league allows more than 43 cars, which is a standard 2003 format, right? So
it is.
They're going to actually be sharing a pit stall with somebody else.
Correct. That's how iRacing breaks that down. When there's more than the 43 there will be some drivers sharing pit stalls. So during the broadcast, you might actually see some cars ghosted into each other in the same stall. That is not uncommon. But the draft package on this one, Jeremy, you talked about it. It's probably one of the better draft packages in an oval series that we have right now. And the stability of these cars is going to make for an even crazier race tonight. You're going to see bump drafting, slam drafting. You're going to see people pushing it, especially when it comes to the end of that stage one break and when it comes to the end of that race going for the checkered. You're going to see some amazing hard racing.
Yeah, 100% here. 15 seconds left. The field is tight. The thing's going to be a blast. There's a lot of different drafting techniques. The side draft isn't as strong as the current cars, so different techniques will be used. That means some new names might pop up to the top that you're not used to seeing here at OP, so expect the unexpected plus some as we get the checkered flags for this practice session, Dustin. So we're going to get our cameras off your screen. We're going to go to qualifying and we are going to focus on your fastest guy in practice. That's going to be Dalton Wilson in the 9:29. Let's see if he gets on track early, and if he does, we'll follow him. And if we don't, no, we're going to cycle to third place. Everett Lane, he's the first one to hit the track. So let's go ahead, right on the number 24's camera, and let's see what qualifying looks like in this car.
Yeah, and I mean, qualifying is going to be done, I mean, similar as in other ones. I mean, the OP Buttkicker Grand National Series is one of the most unique series that OP offers because it changes cars all the time, car and track combo. So qualifying is going to be very similar from what you've seen from the other cars that they have ran. But Jeremy, this is the first time that we've seen these cars hit out on the track under qualifying conditions. Again, this new model was just released on the last big update that was put out. So it's the first time we have had the pleasure of broadcasting and taking a look at what is going on. Zach Fritch on YouTube says 60 car limit. We had a feeling this was going to be big. So confirmation from Zach Fritch, who is one of the admins for the Wednesday OP Buttkicker Grand National Series, says that the car limit is 60, Jeremy, and this is
That's
by
my
far.
number.
I'd have to agree with Zach on this. They being the admins in the league, feeling that this was going to be a big night for the Grand National Series presented by Buttkicker, and they're not wrong. This is the biggest field that we have had. I believe last time it was 42. 43, so this is at least bettered it by one, and that's if we did not have some late people joining in.
Yeah, my SDK screen, I am forever scrolling to go down this entire list of entries. It is quite wild. Yeah, I'm gonna once ever qualifying kicks over to the race session, I'm gonna figure out who is sharing whose pit stall, because they might. I know they have space for more than 43, but I don't know if they actually put in a 44th box or if they overlapped it with one of the ones up toward the front of the pit exit. So we'll figure that out here in just about 3 minutes from now, as we got about 7 or 8 times posted in this qualifying session. Actually, we got down to 12 or 13 as I'm talking, and Sebastian Marin in the 23, aka Jimmy Johnson paint scheme, but you're going to see that quite often, Dustin. Usually I point out the errors on the people's paint schemes, but the car is so new and they just threw it right into the series. So with that being said, we're going to have some cars that don't have a painter yet to take care of them. And that's why you're going to go to nerditudes.gg at the top. You're going to click on Nerd Swag, and then you're going to request a paint scheme from me, and I can take care of you.
Not
Hashtag
Nerd
Kenny.
Swag.
Sorry about that.
Nerd Wraps.
Nerd Swag. Sorry. I'm tired tonight, and that's what you're going to get, that kind of product. So you're going to click on Nerd Wraps, and then that's where I come into play. I'm going to hook you up with a paint scheme. So I don't usually do a shout-out for my portion of it, but here you go. We got some painting opportunities, guys, so hit me up. I'll take care of you.
There you go. And yes, Seabass right now holding that top spot. Anthony English close to knocking him off the top spot at a 52.43. Seabass had a 52.42. So again, qualifying time super quick. Gabe Butler out on track right now, putting down his lap. He is usually a very strong qualifier as well. He definitely has a chance to try to compete. But Jeremy, I'm looking at these times, and again, a new car does not seem like it is slowing any of these drivers down at all. Their qualifying time still super close, still super competitive. And remember, it is a plate track. Qualifying, as far as getting up to the front, not a super big deal because, I mean, we've seen it in sim racing. We've seen it in real life. Drivers can go from dead last up to the front in just a few short laps. But what it does do, Jeremy, is gives you a pit stall further down pit road, closer to the pit exit. The closer you are to that, the easier it is because you can just drop that jack and go, and you're not even going to hit pit road maximum speed before you hit that line. So it's a nice, clean, straight drop entry. That's what a lot of these drivers are trying to do.
Yeah, 100% here. As these guys are talking over things for this driver meeting. It's a new car. It's a lot of drivers. They got some things to talk about, so they're kind of just going over that. And I mentioned the paint scheme situation. You're going to have a lot of repetitive schemes. You're going to have numbers that don't match, and that's fine. We'll get that sorted as the weeks come through and people get their custom skins out there. And I said skins intentionally too, by the way. So that being said, though, we got 0 seconds on the board. I know people love it when I say skins.
Oh, he loves you. He loves you, Jason.
In the world of gaming, it's called a skin. That's just how it is. It's a wrap, but I'm not wrapping these things. I'm literally just applying a skin to a car file. So fight me outside this broadcast. How about that? So here we go. These guys starting to line up on the grid here, which is on the front straightaway, shy of the start-finish line. We're going to give them another couple seconds as they have 40-plus cars to line up here. So we'll just wait for a couple more. And while we're doing that, we're going to shout out series sponsor. I don't shout out the Buttkicker verbally too often. The Buttkicker is a unit you hook up to the center post of your gaming chair or your sim rig, and it brings all the bumps and feels of the track into your sim seat. And so it's kind of cool, unique product. It's nothing really like it on the market, and these guys are widely known. They've done for so long, and so many people back them because it's definitely the best product around. So that's the Buttkicker. And here we go. Starting lineup for the 7th race of the OP Buttkicker Grand National Series. Sebastian Mayer and Anthony English going to be your top spots. Second row is going to be Brian Wang and Steven Korosik. Third row is going to be Gabe Butler and Dude Conrad. Fourth row, Dwayne Corbett, James Mayer. Row 5 will be Vicente Guerrero and Zach Fritsch. Row 6, Everett Lane and Jeff Crosby Jr. Row 7, Christopher Jordan and Travis Elliott. Row 8 will be Eric Lowry and Rick Sanchez. Row 9, Zachary Workman and Mark Mann. Row 10, Jimmy Reynolds and John Guerrero. Row 11, Bubba Winningham and Jeff Crosby Sr. Row 12 will be K.R. Stolfus and Ryan Whitaker. Row 13 will be Harold Rothery and Timothy Abrell. Row 14, Andy Berganti and Randy Cornwall. Row 15 will be Stephen Luttrell and Derek Donna. Row 16, Scott Wise, Dalton Wilson. Row 17, Dana Shepard and Chris Lewis. Row 18, this is getting kind of crazy, Gary Bergeron and Nathan Warren. Row 19, Gene Watkinson and Rick Seabrand. And then you have David Overstreet, Kenny Bishop, Alex Giffen, Andrew Schroeder, Justin Coy, Len McNeese, and that's how one person rolls down through 43 numbers, 44 entries. And here we go, one lap, 2.5 miles, and we're going to see green flag with the Gen 4 car for the first time here.
Oh, yeah. Everybody out there in broadcast land watching this, get ready for a fun and wild race. I'm excited to see 44 drivers here for the Buttkicker Grand National Series pack race, the ever-living crap out of this brand new Gen 4 car. It is going to be a good one. I expect the same level of excitement. And Jeremy, with the way that these cars can take a bump, even with 44 cars, I mean, that just increases the probability of longer runs, green flag pit stops, and everything else. Because that's usually what some of the issue is when we run like the Xfinity car, the B car. It's got a very soft bumper, easy to kind of hook somebody and turn them. These here, they seem a way more stout than some of the other models that they ran, so it should be a good one.
Should be a great one. All right, so there's going to be a lot of unknowns. I've only done a 5-lap session with these things underneath hosted. I did a little bit of single player. There's no AI yet, I don't believe, so I was unable to do AI testing, of course. And it's just I'm just stunned of how much contact these cars can endure without wrecking. So, but OP finds a way to surprise me, and so maybe these guys are going to teach me how to wreck these things. Who knows? We're going to figure this out within 70 laps tonight. Pace car is down. And we're going to see Sebastian Mayer in your pole setter start from pit road. So he's on there now. So Gabe Butler's going to move up the P1 here. And green flag is out. Dustin, 70 laps for race number 7 for the Alex Green at Dega is underway. And the 44 of English with a hell of a start. He's going to bring Dude Conrad with him. They both might drop to the bottom. They do. in the 24, 25, 95. You know, it's a 24 scheme. He tried to go down to the bottom, but the 88 was just there to block him.
Yeah, Anthony English takes out to an early lead. Big push from Dude Conrad on that inside. Follows him down as they double clear. And that is going to be your inside. Now you got James Mayer there. And, oh, we got the 14. Vicente Guerrero goes around. And our first caution.
Yep, they're going to teach us how to wreck it, Dustin.
Yeah. They're going to teach me how hard it's going to be as the name goes all the way down the list as I'm trying to snag it for the camera angle. We're going to go back and take a look at this and see exactly what happened, though.
They're going to teach me how to recce these things. There we go. Here's the 14. So many cars
checkup. So it looks like a checkup from the 10. That's Dwayne Corbett. Had a little bit of a checkup. The 14 of Vicente Guerrero checked up and got into him a little bit, and it was just a stack effect. The car behind Vicente just couldn't do it, and just enough of a bump to send him around. But he keeps it off of the inside wall there, loops it back around, so he's going to be clean, going to be back in there, but he's going to be deep in the field.
We got some issues, Dustin. Jeff Crosby Sr. Destroyed his car halfway around the track after the caution came out off of turn 4. Let's see my car blinks in and out, so I can't really see exactly what happens, but
big time blinky.
Smashes the wall here.
Oh my!
I'm not sure what happened. You saw the blinky blink. He made contact with, I think, the 17 right off of turn 4. Yeah, it was the 17 Jimmy Reynolds. He made some type of contact, and then he disappears, and then destroys it. So
let's see if we can't go and look on board the 17. Oh my gosh, man, this number list is freaking wild. So we're gonna watch the 17 and see if it registers contact on the 17. I'm not seeing any contact on the 17 at all. At least nothing that registered on the iRacing portion of it. Because Crosby Sr.'s already wrecked. He's there. You see the green car in the background. So yeah, it's definitely a big lag spike situation there. And Crosby Sr. going to be the one that pays the ultimate price on that one there. As pit road is busy, Jeremy. Everybody came down, filled up with that virtual Sunoco race fuel. Maybe took a set of tires on the left sides or right sides. Maybe not. Again, I don't know how much practice these drivers have gotten on here to see what the wear is. But typically at Talladega, tire wear is really not an issue.
Yeah, should be an issue. These cars, though, Dustin, they do push up more. Remember, they don't have the downforce and the high-tech suspension gadgets and all that jazz. These things are 20 years old, 22 years old. Because they're based off, the 2003 version,
2003,
right?
correct.
Yeah, so when you exit the corners, the suspension doesn't work as well. And it does push up, so it requires you to turn the wheel a little bit more, which could scuff the right front tire, especially a little bit more than what you typically see at OP. So that's an unknown. Also, I was going to mention the unknown is that checkup that happened that caused the first wreck. They don't know too much how well these cars suck up to one another. And so when you're halfway down, they're not even up to full speed yet. They're not up to the 8,000 RPM these guys are allowed to have. And they had so much suction into one another that the checkup was so massive, which is usually never a problem here. But they found in a half a lap of how much draft these things can accumulate. So now they have that in the notepad, and we're going to get up here in the next lap and have at it again.
Absolutely, and Andy Berganti finds himself in that P1 position. Bubba Winningham in that Chevyland Chevy. And, man, that thing is spec'd map. That is a beautiful car, I will say. I love the chrome on that thing. He is going to be starting P2. And then you're going to have the 36 of Stephen Luttrell. And, yes, Stephen, we got the right car on there. It does say, "Hi, Mom." He is going to be sitting P3, and the 31 is going to be sitting P4. So Luttrell is going to be your pusher on the inside, and Scott Wise in the 31 will be the pusher on the outside. His pace lights should go off this time, signaling 1 to go.
1 to go here. And I will point out a paint scheme flaw. Just like with the latest ARCA cars, The one of the headlights can be spec mapped and one cannot. You can see the spec map through the 6 above Winningham. You pointed that paint scheme out, and I took a look, and I'm like, why is his left headlight darker than the right headlight? Well, that's probably why. One's spec map and one's not. So you can paint over the right side. Looks like you can spec the left. So there you go. There's my little painter's tip. There is. We got just under a lap left here. And I see Belva Feltz there on YouTube joining us for the broadcast. Thank you for popping in here. We have 20 current viewers as we're 4 laps in. Only a half a lap of green, 3.5, now 4 have now been underneath yellow. And Dustin, how much more did we learn here in the opening laps, or do they settle in?
No, I think Belva's on to something. I mean, I was expecting it to go a little longer before we had our first mishap on that, and I think they found how fast, or we did at least, as viewers and commentators on the production side, seeing how fast that learning curve actually is. There's a lot to learn, Jeremy. I have a feeling, like you were talking about, these suspensions, they don't have all of the technology like the newer cars and trucks do. They do push up in the corner. I have a feeling we're going to have some issues with drivers trying to come out of the corner, push up, not put enough wheel into it. Maybe some of these drivers still trying to side draft like crazy and getting close. The good thing is these cars can usually take a little bit of a door-to-door panel contact hit without much issue, but I can see that possibly leading to some yellows. I mean, there's definitely going to be a learning curve for sure.
Absolutely will be a learning curve. We're about to fire this thing off here for the second attempt at a green start. Let's see if they get 1 lap in here. Lap 5 is the restart number. Green flag is out. Remember, same or different car, but same storyline every Wednesday. Lap 35, ending that lap, is your stage break. We'll talk to the stage winner at that time. So that's no different as we admire these new cars going around Talladega here. The 6, the 215, they're going to lead single file on the bottom here. The 12 is leading the outside lane. Zach Fritsch, look at this, coming from 4th up to 2nd. That's the 13 and 12, rather. They're going to be nose to tail now as Dude Conrad giving a great shove to the 12 of Fritsch. He's now going to shove Berganti up side by side with the race leader, Bubba Winningham, as they're 2x2 all the way back through about the top 15.
Yeah, Bubba Winningham leading the inside line with Derek Donna on the 215 being the pusher there, giving big pushes. Andy Berganti, who did not have a solid start there, it's what allowed Bubba Winningham and Derek Donna to get the lead in double clear, is getting big pushes from Zach Fritsch right now and Dude Conrad. And you can see that 3-line train right now. They're getting a little experimenty here, trying to push, but you can see how that tandem is kind of working as, Andy Berganti, a little blinky action going. But the 2 cars really starting to separate there from that 3rd car in line. So, but as it sits right now, Jeremy, I mean, Bubba Winningham and Derek Donna, they've got it hooked up right now, and they're giving the 13 of Andy Berganti a lot of struggles there as that top line still trying to find momentum to clear that bottom.
Yeah, these things get hot quick, so the tandem is going to wear off here in the next half a lap. And then you're going to see probably a little bit more spacing, I'm just going to guess, than what you typically would see. And maybe a lot more left to right from the outside lane as they try to cool themselves off. Sticking that nose to the right side does work. But remember, these grills are not as big as the current cars. These things are stuffed right in the middle. And so you have to really get your nose to the outside to get these things cooled off. As the inside lane goes, 3 cars on the inside, single file. Oh, there we go. The 36, Stephen Luttrell, had the opening. He's got the cool engine. He's going to send it off past the 215 up to the 6, Bubba Winningham. Stephen Luttrell trying to lead this next lap.
Yeah, Luttrell getting big pushes from Andy Berganti there. A lot of space in between Winningham and Donna, which is going to allow Luttrell to possibly clear here if he can get the right push from Berganti.
Berganti, you're not clear, bud. You're not clear. Oh, crossing over traffic.
Big wreck. They're stacking them up. That's a huge wreck, and that's that tunnel vision. So. That's that tunnel vision, Jeremy. It has happened to more racers on restrictor plate tracks than we would like to admit to ourselves right now, we're going to sit here and do a little Nerd TV rewind, but we're going to actually go on board the roof camera of Berganti. So right now, Andy Berganti, well, if he stops blinking, so we got to get him to stop blinking. All he is looking at is the back bumper, and he sees Luttrell's going down. He is just following Luttrell. Unfortunately, that's right across Bubba Winningham's nose, and off we go. Spin cycle, and then you see Scott Wise gets a piece of that as well, and just all hell breaks loose. Further up, it's just a massacre, Jeremy, because, drivers are trying to slow down. You see the 05 of Wang has to miss Berganti, and oh man, Andy Berganti just got T-bone slammed on that one.
Dustin knows a thing because he's done and seen a thing or two. This tunnel vision happens, like Dustin said, to literally everybody. You're just trying to follow the guy. He makes a move. You don't recognize it because you're glued to the bumper. Then you get this mess right here on the front stretch at Talladega. 5, 6, 7 cars, 8 right there. There's more filing, 9, 10, I think 10, 11. Vicente Guerrero 2 for 2 on the caution count here as he comes in very late and gets the contact. As there's a lot of cars that are damaged. Thankfully, they had that fast repair. I know the 13's using it. I know the person who drilled him in the door, he's going to use it, but
oh yeah,
quite a bit used, and they're gonna reset this thing. We're gonna take a quick picture commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy jerky. The original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
Back to full screen as we have just over a half a lap left. We're going to restart this thing on lap 11. And I'm just kind of looking at some paint schemes, Dustin, admiring what we got on track. The 59 is kind of creative. If you love Casey Kane's paint scheme, the Dodge scheme, John Guerrero is rocking a Ford scheme. Has the same font. Ford dealers on the back, on the hood, Ford on the side. Everything's Ford about it, but it's definitely a Dodge paint scheme. I was like, wait, did someone do Dodge? But nope, it's just a Ford. So it's kind of cool look, don't you think?
I like that. I mean, you know my take, Jeremy, when it comes to stuff like that. I love throwbacks. You and I always love to collab on throwbacks. You just did Dale Jr. '01 MLB All-Star car, but we had to nerd it up a little bit, and it has Mario Super Sluggers on it. Beautiful scheme. One of both of our favorites that we did was the Rusty Wallace Harley Davidson Flame Throwback that has Nerd Life on it instead of Miller Lite. So always love throwback schemes, and what better car to do it than brand new Gen 4.
Dan, this one literally right here on your screen. Yep, absolutely. Throwbacks for days. 9,000 drivers registered a paint scheme of these new cars day one, 24 hours in.
9,363 to be exact as we go back green flag racing, Jeremy.
Record breaking. And Trading Paints has been doing this for over a decade with iRacing. So just imagine breaking that record 15, 16, 17 years in. But here we go. Green flag is out. Turn 1, turn 2. Everyone's through the gearbox just fine. A lot more single file and a lot more uniformness on the outside lane, which is going to probably help the 40th of English get cleared. The 215 of Derek Donna has almost lane as well. Oh man, English just cuts the nose off of the 12. He actually made contact with him as he slid down in front of him. That was too close to call. 215, Derek Donna now is going to have the number 5, or 51 rather, Travis Elliott, all over his back bumper, trying to get him to the lead, but 44 is going to lead this one.
Yeah, 44 Anthony English with pushes from Zach Fritsch on the inside, Derek Donna with pushes from Travis Elliott on the outside, and it looks like we got Scott Wise up there in that third lane as they are 3 wide back here, and trying to at least see how that is going to work out. Again, remember, a lot of this is experimenting. They're trying to feel this car out just as we are trying to feel it out by watching the broadcast. So right now you see the 922 Randy Cornwell also up on that third lane, waiting for Scott Wise to get up there. But up front right now, we had a switch of power a little bit as Zach French jumped out from behind Anthony English and now leads that second lane with Derek Donna pushing Anthony English on the inside, and he's got the 36 of Stephen Luttrell.
Yeah, the 12 actually almost wrecked Anthony English off of turn 2 this last time by. It sent English below the double yellow line. He had to check up and not allow the 12 to get to the outside and did not lead that lap. So Anthony's going to lead the last 2 laps now in a row. 13 laps into the 70-lap event here for race number 7 of the OP Buttkicker Grand National Series. Alex Green at Dega live on your screen now on Nerd TV. Down into turn 3. The 44 does not have the lead this time because the 36 overheating just a little bit. Derek's going to have to let go here. He dips to the outside to cool off his engine. Look at everyone searching for cool air.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, it's something completely new. They can't cool off as the 12 of Fritsch finally does clear the 44 of English and takes the lead on that inside lane. But the way that we cool off all of the current models of top-tier e-NASCAR, cars and trucks is not the same that you do on this. Like you said, it's got a much smaller air intake on the front nose of this thing, so you have to pull out and dip high a lot more than what we have to, and drivers are just trying to find that sweet spot right now on how far out they need to go to actually gain that clean air to cool that motor off. As you see, big time lineup on that inside right now. Fritsch, Pied Piper leading the way, Anthony English pushing Luttrell, and you got Jimmy Reynolds back there, and then Eric Lowry in the 071. That is your current top 5 on the inside. Nate Warren following Laurie right now, and then it's 2 wide behind him with Rothery on the inside and Workman on the outside.
Oh, wreck in the back here. Third caution going to be out. 1 car, 2 car up and over the 24 Everett Lane. He is going tipsy-turvy 3, 4, 5 times down into the infield as the 922 does the same thing with him here. Caution on lap 15. I was going to talk about how the draft looked like it did 25 years ago, but never mind. We're going to talk about this wall contact to bring out this caution.
Yeah, a little bit of wall contact. Oh, man, who got murdered up there? The 30, was that the 32?
Well, the 24 got the right hook directly into the outside wall. He's going to destroy the guy who went right upside down with him, the 92. That being Ryan Whitaker. So Everett Lane, Wyatt Whitaker into this one. Heavy contact for both of these guys. And you're going to see that pinstripe car. I think it's Andrew Schroeder. Watch him kind of weave as he drives underneath one of these guys. He's going to come into your picture on the right side momentarily. Here he is. He's going to come up the track, I do believe. Avoids the 6 and going to drive underneath the 24. Almost. So close.
And that was that was the 92 that got a piece of that. That's Ryan Whitaker. And that was Everett Lane. I mean, Everett Lane just took a wild ride. Like, poor Everett, man. He was just cruising, minding his own business, nothing going on, and boom. Hello. Right up.
You're done, bud.
Yep. Done. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was about 5 topples there before he finally come to a rest on his wheels. What a ride there for the 24.
Yeah, I'm glad he was in a virtual car because this car, even with the safety barriers, that would have hurt a lot. So, got to see they're going to be okay. Tow, fast repair, get back out there, and hopefully you don't do that between now and the end of this race. Pit stops, expect every single driver to be making a pit stop to top off the fuel. If you were in the wreck, get some damage repaired. You got a couple minutes on pit road to do so. As they kind of file in here, Dustin, I think we should get Kenny's first take, our caffeine team member that's on our camera tonight. I think we're going to go. Well, hold on, yeah. We're 3-4 wide on pit road. This is fine. Everything's fine.
This is normal. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Completely fine. 4 wide on the track, 4 wide on pit
I have to
road.
shout out Belva, too. She is keeping count of our yellows right now, and officially the Belva yellow count is at 3.
Our senior yellow flag correspondent.
Hey, we will take all the help we can get, and we appreciate it 110%.
There you go. Absolutely. All right, we're going to bring in caffeine team member Kenny Bishop into the into the broadcast booth here. Kenny Bishop driving the Schwanitudes 49. What's going on, man?
Just this peasant paint job I got over here.
That's a Swan, sir. It's not even lined up on the front fenders. What can we say? This is what we have to do for scraps until we get our actual paint scheme out here.
Good old trading paints.
Trading. That's right, man. Hey, how's that car feeling out there? It's the first time you're driving it. How's the draft? How's everything going?
It's good. It reminds me of old NR 2003 days, so it kind of brings me back a little bit of the nostalgia feel, but I kind of had a feeling at the beginning of this race I might be just chilling in the back, doing the old way in the back style, and so far it's proven true to me because it's been a little chaotic around here.
Should have loaded up a Dale Jarrett paint scheme if that's what you were going for. Wait in the back until about 15 laps to go and send it off. How's the side draft going? I saw right before that caution, the top 5 or 6 got single filed, and then it was 3 wide on Byron's back. So just kind of curious, is side draft present, or is it just kind of playing a little safe here?
In practice it seemed like it was not really a factor. There was a little bit of like that tandem drafting going on as well, and then it would single out. But you get a good run with these things. So that's, if you're down a little bit, you can just make your way back, no problem. So I'm going to wait to see to get up there once we get closer to the stage and make a run for the stage, and then kind of do the same thing for the end of the race and see what happens. But I'm out here by myself, so no friends. I'm just going to go for it.
All right, man. Well, good luck to you. Maybe we'll talk to you for stage break. And you were so close last week by 1/1000th of a second, I think, for 4th place. Maybe we'll talk to you this time.
All right, man. Sounds good.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Dang baby.
There you go, baby.
Gen 4, 2003. Ken Schrader paint scheme for Mr. Kenny Bishop. We got a half lap, Dustin, before we go green flag.
Absolutely. And it's Sean Stevens on YouTube says, "Hey guys, love the broadcast. Much appreciated." But hey, we're all learning stuff out here with these cars here. I mean, it's you heard Kenny Bishop talk about it. You know, it's they were trying stuff in practice. You know, that's the best place to try to do it. Didn't seem like it was going to be, you know, as big of a, you know, hit as far as the side draft as it is in other cars, but he did make mention, like you did, Jeremy, that tandem drafting, and that's something that we're not used to on this service with the newer modeled cars and everything else. That doesn't work as well, but this car here, with the way that it was, you know, scanned based off of how it ran in its era, I mean, that's something that these drivers are starting to learn. I mean, how often do we see, you know, the top 5, top 6 in a straight line like that, and everybody else 2 and 3 wide behind them, unless they're getting ready for a pit, but they weren't. So everybody's out here learning.
Yeah, 100% here. Pace cars down pit road. Lap 19 will restart this race. The fuel mileage window should be shut off. We should be good to the end of lap 35. So here we go. Green flag is out. The 215 gets a nice jump, and the 78 Christopher Jordan does lag back quite a bit. So allowed the 215 just to really break away, but that's not going to be good. 78's going to go to the bottom. Now Luttrell, if he can get Eric Lowry to his back bumper here real quick, watch this 36 go from 4th place to hold on, wreck, caution, 4th caution here tonight. And it's going to involve 1 or 2 cars, trying to see who it was, someone far in the back.
That's going to be your pole sitter, Sebastian Marin. Yeah, he's going to be involved in this one here. See what happens. That's going to be Sebastian Marin.
It's going to
right
John
there.
Guerrero. It's going to be the opening wreck.
Oh, John Guerrera, contact. He goes around, and then it picks up the 48, the 48 non-48, and that's Sebastian Marin. That's your pole sitter there, and he gets looped. And I'm trying to see who that was. I think that was the 111 of Chris Lewis that made contact between him and the 59 of John Guerrera, and that's what brought out your most recent caution.
Yeah, and Dustin, your flight control, I figured you would tell him the pattern was full.
Oh, it was definitely full. That's a big negative, Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Yeah, not clear is what that is. And there's some questions. We usually don't get too many questions. We got back-to-back questions on YouTube. One, is there a lucky dog from Fish on Adventures? Yeah, the 13, Andy Briganti. We've had too many cautions back-to-back to where we not had many people a lap down. But look at the 13. He's about to cross over the pace car right about now, roughly. You're going to see him on the outside here. He's going to fly by, I think, unless he's just trying to get his spot. We'll see. Here's the 13. I was seeing if he's going to get the lucky dog.
He should.
He's the only one.
He should this time by. He should get because they just caught the pace car, so leaders will have free reign to come down pit road this time. The 13 of Andy Briganti will stay out and will get the lucky dog and be told to pass a pace car once the pace car hits the start-finish line. So yes, Fish on Adventures, there is lucky dogs, but like Jeremy said, there's been a lot of action and a really long driver list as we're trying to cover everything. So lucky dogs, we've kind of missed those in the last couple cautions. And then Ginger Parent says, first off, there's no such thing as a weird or stupid question. But yes, if a car is in first during caution laps, it does count towards laps led in the race. As long as the laps are counting and you are in the lead, they do count. The only time that is not in effect like that is typically during dirt racing on the iRacing service. Caution laps typically don't count towards your lap count, so therefore they will not count towards laps led.
There you go. As you see the 13 still on your screen, Andy Briganti taking that wave around. So he's going to go from 2 laps to 1 lap down before the green flag does fly once again. And I have a text message from our caffeine team member, Kenny Bishop. He wants to know the over or under cautions. He's a betting man. He likes to bet. So what's the over
yes, he does.
Caution count here tonight. We're at 4. We're on lap 20 of 70. I'm going to post 7, plus or minus 7.5 will be my number. So what do we think there?
Over.
Over, I say over on 7.5. We'll get Kenny's word momentarily. And Belva Feltz, our senior yellow flag correspondent, will keep up to date on all the cautions. Actually, you know what, Belva? You didn't post number 4.
Belva, you had one job.
Andy Bishop also says over as well, so I guess I chose a really lightweight number this time.
Well, we shall see. And I mean, typically this series here, we have really good long green flag runs. We see green flag pit stops. But Jeremy, I mean, it was kind of in the back of our minds that this could happen because it's the first time that they're running this car. Like I said, the drivers are out there learning. Us as broadcasters are learning certain things. And then you got to look at the field count itself. At 44 is the number of drivers that took the green flag. It's probably bound to happen.
Yeah, and to answer Ginger Parent's remark, hey, Belva, you have your hands full counting yellows. Well, technically you have one more yellow flag, and then your hand will be full, because that'll be a 5 count. So, that's right. Word playing just a little bit here on Nerd TV, not a problem whatsoever. 1 lap to go before we go back to green flag on lap 23, which will be 13 to go between now and stage break. Jimmy Reynolds, Nathan Warren is your top 2. And then Belva says, that's because I didn't know how to count double number 4. Double 4s, Dustin. Hopefully we don't see 44s. And remember, let's talk about Anthony English.
Well, if he keeps blinking the way that he does, he's got the blinkies tonight too. So
He's got double vision out there.
he does have double vision. So we've got the caution count. Belva's back on track again with our caution count there. We got the bet. You said plus 7.5, and KB and I said over. So we'll see how that goes. We're at number 4 right now, Jeremy.
Yeah, I feel like these guys are going to learn from these mistakes and this learning curve of the new car, and I think it's going to settle out just a little bit on the back half of this event. That's what I'm putting my money on. I'm still saying over at the end of the day, but I don't think it's going to be right around that mark. I think it's a good average number to bank on. Here we go. It's under half a lap left. I've seen a lot of lead changes. I mean, we've had a lot of pit cycles and sequences, but I mean, the opening laps, there's been a lot of back and forth. But I'm kind of curious, Dustin, if we get to a long green flag segment, I noticed right before that caution before, the big one that happened, strung out on the infield or inside lane, single file for 5 or 6 cars, like they did back in the day. And then it was a bunch of 3 wide, 2 wide, typical 2-decade-old racing. So these things seem to draft very realistically.
Yeah, and I would have to agree on that one there. So I'm looking forward to a long green flag run. To answer your question, Belva, you're talking about the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. No, that was already under caution. So even though he wrecked under caution, that still counts as 1 caution. As we go back to green flag racing, 36 of Stephen Luttrell leading your inside lane. The 922 of Randy Cornwell is the pusher there. Zach Workman on the outside with the 46 of David Overstreet being the pusher. And you have Anthony English back there as well. But right now, that inside line getting the big momentum as they're winding up through the gears, Jeremy.
Yeah, 4th gear, a little side action. Here's the 19. Workman's going to slam the 922 to propel him. Jimmy Reynolds down below the double yellow. He's going to merge back up in front of the 04 marked man. Checks up that inside just a little bit. 3 wide already. 3 rows deep here. Classic Gen 4 style at Talladega. Look at this, Dustin. They're wasting no time this time around. Cars are scattered everywhere. I'm loving this car already.
Oh, absolutely. As Zach Workman and David Overstreet double clear the 922 of Cornwell, they take up position on the inside lane, P1, P2, as Gabe Butler, Luttrell gets loose and saves it. What a save by Luttrell. And we got to go back and watch that one there, Jeremy, as we take a Nerd TV rewind. He had that thing way sideways, and it looked like there was a little bit of a checkup. The 922 Might have been a little bit of a bump. They got the 922 out of funk. 36 Luttrell had to check up, and Scott Wise couldn't check up in time. Just ever so slight there, but look at the wheelmanship that Luttrell does to keep that thing going, and we stay green.
Yeah, very, very fine job behind the wheel at the 36 to keep that thing going. I thought for sure he was toast, but we're still green somehow. 9 laps to go. No, sorry, 10 laps to go left in this stage here. At the lead this time, the 19, Zachary Workman. He's got Gabe Butler all over the back bumper. Rick Sanchez looking by himself momentarily. Here comes the 46, David Overstreet. He's going to close in on the 5, check up on the inside lane. The 44 recognizes it, go to the inside lane.
4 wide.
Going to push the 46, yeah, as we go 4 wide momentarily. Ooh, 14, Vicente, watch what you're doing. We might go 4 wide again. He's looking. These cars, Dustin, just love super speedways.
Oh, and they do, and we can't, it's hard to explain, but the runs that these things generate, these Gen 4s, is just astronomical. The closing rate and the amount of speed delta difference that you will have. Oh, contact up there, Anthony English. Sanchez, they both had the same idea on the same move. And they keep going, but the run that they generate is so crazy. That's why you were able to see the 5 of Sanchez get such a run on the inside and be able to pull up with Workman while Workman and Gabe Butler were 2-car tandeming like that. I mean, it's a lot of draft work. The drivers have to change their mindset. It looks like they finally got stuff cooled down. Gabe Butler up front leading right now. Eric Lowry is the pusher, and you see Sanchez and English working that midline right now.
When we do get to the stage break, by the way, that is a caution, but that does not count toward the cautions because it's not a wreck. So I just want to get that clarification before we get there. We're not going to count that toward the final number of cautions here this evening. So we'll let you know for sure if it is a stage or if it's not. If there is a caution, though, by wreck within 5 laps to go, they do count that as stage. And that's the only time we will count it toward the caution count because it is a wreck and not a natural stage caution. So we'll see what happens
Scott Wise.
if it does happen. And here we go. 5th wreck.
Oh,
My,
Derek Donna just got obliterated by that inside wall. And there was nothing he could have done on that one there. That looked like it started up there with the 31.
Oh,
and I mean, he's just shot down. It's already started here. We're gonna do a little Nerd TV rewind here. It was already started there. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna go take a look at the 31.
17:31.
Oh, yep. There's the contact between the 17 and the 31. Shoots at 31 a Wise high. Over correction on that. Back down into the 17. And then poor Derek Donna just gets right side obliterated there and sent down to the infield. Looks like Scott Wise. Nope. A little bit of a lift up there from Jimmy Reynolds. And back up into the wall. Oh, yeah.
What? Go to Derek Donner right there. Someone just drove backwards and nailed him in the front end. I just, for comical reasons, I got to see what happened here. You're going to see just this destruction of the inside wall.
Oh, jeez. What a hit.
And then to double down, one of the rooftop Asheville paint schemes just says, "How you doing?" So there's that.
Okay. Well, we're going to go on board with Derek Donna. We got to go roof cam on this one here. This is full speed. This is a brutal hit. Jeez. His entire left front is just demolished. That tire's busted, everything.
If you go to his chase camera, it says, "I'm trash," because it's Forky. That car is indeed trashed. There's the engine. Expired. Tow. No, he's not towing. I thought his thing would have been toast. That wall hit was so hard that would have broke anything. But he is limping, Dustin, at 44 miles an hour. Down to 41, 45. He's struggling. Smoking, sparking. He's actually probably wasting more time than what a tow would take. But he's trying his all, man.
Yeah, he's trying. And you know what? I mean, it's hit or miss when it comes to the tows. It really is. It's all based on where you're located at on the track. I mean, I've had tows at Talladega here, minute and a half. I've also had tows here at like 4 minutes. So sometimes it's not worth taking that gamble there if you can sit here and work your way around and get to pit road. Obviously, the 215's got a fasty left. And yes, Belva, that is number 5 officially. He's got a fasty left. He can get that thing fixed, get back out there, save potentially going a lap down as long as he doesn't lose too much speed out there. But, big time wreck there. And Jeremy, it's a number of the incidents that we have seen so far. It seems like it's that they're not getting that square bump. They're bumping on the left rear or the right rear bumper. And these cars are just not taking it. When we initially talked about the bump draft and slam draft, we were talking about more of a square hit on the bumper, and these cars can take it. But it seems like these cars are really getting out of shape, just like their newer versions, being the Cup car, the Xfinity car, trucks. They're getting out of shape when they're getting hit on that left rear or right rear bumper.
Yeah. In any car, you're going to have that. This car is the least amount, but you still feel it. And if there's a little discrepancy in like corner entry or exit or tri-oval where the banking rises and decreases, it makes that amplified. And again, it says it's a car on the iRacing simulation, so we're all about hit boxes here in digital code. They did the best they could with the tools and skills that they have, but at the end of the day, we are on the virtual side, and things might go a little weird. We've seen it on the back straightaway where those little bumps just really upset these cars, so that's a learning curve that we've seen twice happen. So let's make sure we kind of notate that and not have that happen again. 1 to go. Your top 5 this time is Anthony English, Zachary Workman, Jeff Crosby Jr., Rick Sanchez, and Gabe Butler. Doesn't matter what car, what track combo, those names always seem to find their way, Dustin, in the top 5.
Yeah, they do. And one name we haven't called, we have called English's name, Workman, Sanchez, and Butler's name, but Jeff Crosby Jr. has just quietly been working his way up, just quietly sitting back there, just waiting for the opportunity to pounce. And we're coming up to the end of stage 1 right now, and that opportunity's a knocking, and lo and behold, your defending Buttkicker Grand National Series champion is up in the top 5 when the points count. So Crosby Jr. knows how to get it done. A lot of these drivers do, and the only reason why, like I said, I'm pointing him out is because we haven't called his name yet tonight, it's been unusual because by this time, Jeremy, we've at least called it once or twice in at least the first 25 to 30 laps.
That's very true there. You got this nice little camera angle here in turn 3, little digger action on this pace lap. And when we go back to green flag, it will be 5 to go between then and stage. So if there's any caution whatsoever between the green flag and the end of lap 35, it will be end of stage. So notate that. That might be exactly what we're going to see. We've seen a lot of chaos. So we're going to figure that out. The pace car is going to dip momentarily. 44 has control of the restart, but he chose the outside lane. He's going to pick Rick Sanchez as his draft partner. Then the 19 has Jeff Crosby Jr. behind him as his draft partner. Then, of course, the 88 Gabe Butler, who remains the best drafter in all of OP. And here we go. Green flag is out. This thing is back underway.
Yeah, back underway. Anthony English gets an excellent start. Sanchez there's that slam draft we were talking about. Gets Anthony English clear of Workman. He drops down. That's going to leave Sanchez up there with the 99 of Alex Giffen. Alex Giffen now your pusher on the outside lane. Workman pusher on the inside lane. It almost looked like English was trying to debate whether he wanted to stay low or go high on that one, and he elects to stay low. And here comes Dude Conrad. Big momentum on that outside lane.
3 wide, all the way through already. Not even one lap into this restart. The number 8 on the outside, bringing the 51 with him there, Travis Elliott. And it's about, 7 rows? 7 rows, all 3 wide. This thing is getting chaotic quickly, but into the tri-oval they start to fan out where the inside has that advantage. Workman out to the outside of the 44. Anthony leads that lap.
Anthony leads the lap. Workman takes the outside run there. He's going to have pushes from the 5 of Rick Sanchez.
Caution.
And caution comes out. That
Stage.
will be your stage. And yes,
Yeah,
Belva, that does count as a caution. That was not the official end of stage by virtue of completion of lap 35.
4 wide on the front stretch will cause this wreck here. You see it right now, 4 wide. They're going to get a little tight there on the bottom. Can't tell from this angle what happens. It looks like maybe Bubba Winningham just kind of pinched it a little too low.
Oh.
They're trying to cross over. The 111's going to eat it as he's just a bystander at this point. To the outside wall. Hard hit. Yeah, see, one more time.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, no, there's okay. So maybe the 111 kind of went up the track a little bit and pinched it in the middle.
Yeah, and it kind of forced the 48 up as well, and then contact was made between the 48 of Schroeder and the 6 of Winningham, and that's what sent those cars around. Schroeder almost made it through, just got tagged a little bit by the front nose of Bubba Winningham, and that's what's going to bring out caution number 6 and the end of stage, and officially, Jeremy, that is going to put the 19 of Zach Workman as your stage 1 winner.
Yeah, but just like that, we're going picture in picture. We're going to thank a couple of partners, and then after that, we're going to talk to Zachary Workman momentarily. So stay tuned. Back to full screen here as we're let's see, a lap and a half away before we're going to go back to green flag. So we're going to take our time now to bring in our stage winner. It's going to be, let me see if I can find him, what channel this guy is in. Mr. Zachary Workman, the guy in the number 19. There he is, team number 3. Hold on a minute. Zachary, this is Jeremy in the Nerd TV booth. You got a copy?
I do indeed.
Hey, man, stage winner. Your car's been floating around a little bit in that top 10. Walk us through how you got the stage win and how fun is it in these Gen 4 cars right now?
Oh, this is my first time like racing in these, like doing the super speedway and stuff. It's a blast because it gives you an option that you can just like pull out and side draft, and then actually go ahead of front instead of just stay like side by side with the guy. So I mean really I just kind of stayed out because I was like, all right, we're gonna get with how the race is going, we're probably going to get a few cautions here and just had enough to kind of stay out front and take the stage win there.
All right, so we got halfway into this race. We've learned a little bit about these cars, where not to bump, how the draft is affecting these things, how the temperatures are going. What have you learned to put yourself in front here at lap 70?
I mean, you got to be very careful of like how you bump and where you bump, and once you get hooked up to the guy, you could really fly. But seems like trying to get track position's a little hard. I know I took like 4 tires and gas right here, but just kind of chilling back here. But yeah, track position means a lot. Third line's not really cooking as much as we see usually, but I don't know if that's people wait to use it at the end or what. But yeah, if you get hooked up with someone, you guys could really fly. Especially there's like 3 people all together. Can just kind of cook and yeah, getting shot out front and then kind of controlling both lanes without, having a guy right next to you is pretty fun. So.
Heck yeah, man. We'll continue to have fun. We got exactly 35 laps to go. Go get it, and maybe we'll talk to you a little bit later this evening.
Yeah, we'll try. We can't. This Mark Mann guy got to stop winning, so I had to come out of my Wednesday retirement to see if I could do anything about him. So.
Well, listen. If he's not wrecking, he's winning. So if you take him out, chances are.
Hey man, we got a backup car on the 19 hauler, so I might have to use that for good use.
All right, so
go.
you understand the assignment. I got you, boy. I got you.
Yeah, I know, and Mark's getting old, so it's almost his bedtime now, so it's about bed for him. So yeah, we'll get it going, but I'll let you guys go back in the booth, and we'll see if I can actually get back to the front.
All right, man. Go get him. We'll talk to you later. All right, he's calling sleepy time for the number 04. Put that man to bed.
Sleepy time indeed. We go back green. David Overstreet leading the inside lane. Big pushes from the 44 of Anthony English. Dude Conrad leading the outside lane right now. He was leading a charge in that third lane just prior to that caution. He's getting big pushes from Randy Cornwell right now. So neck and neck as they come out of turn 2. And it's a dead heat race down the super stretch.
Yeah, we'll see how quick these guys go 3 wide. Gabe Butler almost looked like he wants to do it. And he does not.
Look at that. Did you see that? 2-car tandem on the third lane, double clears both the inside and outside, and they both take up position leading each individual lane. Dude Conrad on the inside, the 922 of Cornwell on the outside, and Gabe Butler, big move to the inside.
Yeah, for 1 lap, these things can just get at it. You don't have to lift. You hit the guy square in the bumper, and you push and you push. Like the 2007 COTs would, when that thing was actually a thing, with the wing. 3 wide now for the second row on back for 6 consecutive rows here. Just basically where we left off right before stage break. And this is the most 3 wide I've seen in OP, period, Dustin. And these cars just make it look easy out here. Look at 19 Zachary Workman. He restarted, 20th place? And now 2 laps into this thing, and he's inside your top 10, almost the top 5.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, Jeremy, it looks like the drivers are starting to understand these cars a little bit more. You see that they are doing that 2-car tandem draft, and they understand what is expected and what these cars can do. I mean, we've seen Dude Conrad and Randy Cornwell do the 2-car tandem draft on the third lane and double clear to take up positions on both the inside and the middle lane. So if you can do it and you get your temperatures right, they're starting to understand these cars and the runs that these things generate.
Yeah, they definitely learned. You can tell. A little more confident where they're placed in their car. The 3 wide has picked up. They're making some moves out here. So they've learned. They're applying it. Now if we can clear up the wrecks, that would be the next best thing that we can find to finish this thing off strong. Lap 39 now underway. Zachary Workman, 4 laps after starting in 20th, is going to be the new leader here for the Alex Green at Dega.
Yeah, big pushes from Sanchez. You see Sanchez goes down. Now you got James Mayer up there on the top side, and there's that 04 Mark Mann making his way forward. So, again, and here comes this Highline run. We got to keep an eye on this. You got Gabe Butler up there with Alex Giffen. If they can tandem, Jeremy, I think that the winning move can come from that high side if they can maintain the momentum up there. If they can get a run up there, get clear and move down to the center lane, I think that is what is going to be key towards the end of this race.
Dustin dropping some bars over here. James Mayer up there. I don't know if he knew that or not, but 3 wide still, multiple rows from about the 3rd row on back, 6, 7 rows deep. We are 3 widening it up. I'm loving this sight, Dustin, and this is a great time. Let's do a turn up the tunes. We're going to listen to the new Gen 4s at Talladega. Just really enjoyed those sights and sounds here as we're 3 wide, 8 rows deep consecutive from row 2 or 3 on back. Gen 4's Talladega. Not disappointing on this restart. No cautions to be found as we remain 3 wide as we get some aerial coverage here.
Look at that. I mean, just look at that, Jeremy. That is...
Look at the run, dude.
Oh, the run that these things generate, and the drivers are starting to learn and understand this now and using it to their advantage. And I mean, you can literally, from this aerial coverage presented by Whiplash Simcams, you can see them generate the run and just propel forward, and then the opposite lane will generate a run. I mean, these cars, probably one of the cooler ones that iRacing has put out recent for the eNASCAR and the oval junkies like you and I, and obviously 44 other drivers here for the OP Buttkicker Grand National Series.
Just admire this side right here. These brand new to the service, very little practice, and these guys are 3 wide all the way across this entire field into turn 3. You see the 1-car separation there, the 922 Randy Cornwell, who since he started OP has been nothing but just very strong contender week in and week out. He had that nice slingshot that you would have seen 20 plus years ago, and he took the lead. Now the inside is starting to fan out, single file once more, just like how it did 6 or 7 laps into that previous green flag run that we had. So it's very similar. Here we go.
Giffen.
Very similar format. Does he save it? Caution is not
out. There it goes.
iRacing thrown caution, not admin thrown, as he rests on the bottom of turn 1. And that worked out perfectly because I said, look at how they're fanning out, just like how they did last time. And then they wrecked just like how they did last time. And Alex Giffen, the latest victim here, 7 cautions here this evening.
Caution number 7. As it sits, we're going to take a look here and see what happened.
Just, Dustin, you're going to call this one. You got something for this, right?
Negative, Ghost Rider. That pattern is full, and it was full of the 46 David Overstreet. That was Alex Giffen just trying to get down in to maintain that momentum, and there was just enough of Overstreet's front bumper there and right front fender to make contact there. Just not enough room, and that's going to bring out your 7th caution here in tonight's Alex Green Dega.
Yeah, and they might have stayed green flag if it wasn't for Alex coming back up to the track twice at such a almost dead stop speed there. So iRacing stewards had no other choice but to throw it. And so 7 cautions in. That was on lap 45. Now we're on lap 46. Everyone's going to come down pit road this time. So it's going to be, we're 25 to go now. 23, I would imagine, when we get the green flag. So that's going to be...
Oh, 1 stopper.
Yeah, 1 stopper. It's about 1.5, roughly. 1.5 fuel cycles if they do green flag the entire rest of the way. Which, remember, the over-under is 7.5 that I set 30-ish laps ago. So we're at 7 now, so 1 more, and it's going to put us on that over category. Which, I mean, by a game of averages, Dustin, I think we're going to get there.
Yeah, and we very well could. So it's, like I said, that last run, though, that was a thing of beauty. Again, shout out to Whiplash Sim Cams for the aerial coverage on the track. And just to give you guys more of a feel of what these drivers are doing in their sim rigs, fantastic work. We are starting to see a little bit more confidence build up at there. Belva, thank you again. Number 7, she's our official caution count tracker. Been doing a fantastic job. But Jeremy, I tell you, it's gonna get chaotic, but there's also going to be some exciting moments on there. We've already seen some good ones. We've seen Luttrell with an amazing save that he was able to do that and not bring out a caution. So one thing we haven't done, and you know what, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. We're going to do our top 10 recap. So right now, Rick Sanchez is leading the race, has been up in the top 5, top 10 area all night, has generated some amazing runs thus far. Really understanding this new Gen 4 car. Big time contender right now, looking really strong. Right now, P2, Randy Cornwell, you touched base on this. Jeremy, he's been doing a fantastic job since he started in the OP Buttkicker Grand National Series. Got a stage win, has been up front most of the night. 3rd place right now, Stephen Luttrell. We had talked about this. He's been up. He's led some laps. That amazing wheelmanship and that save that he did, fantastic work. He has been doing excellent. And actually, I think, so is Vicente? We'll talk about Luttrell. I'll go back to Vicente. But Stephen Luttrell has definitely put himself in a good situation. Vicente Guerrero is up there. He is actually supposed to be the P3, but the timing tower was all jackarooed up. We've seen him involved in a caution there. He was able to save it, keep it from going to that inside wall. Was involved, had a piece of another caution still out there, finds himself in that top 5. We have, Harold Rothery is up there again. We've called his name a couple times tonight. Has been running clean, very conservative. That's a usual pace for that 06, so he's doing excellent tonight as well. The 911, Tim Abrell, up there in that top 10, top 5 range. Haven't called his number or his name very often tonight, but is showing his strength here tonight. Everett Lane, we went on board with the Oakley visor cam and watched him take one hell of a tumble. 5 tumbles, actually, if you want to keep count. But he has rebounded back up, running right now in that P7 range. Zach Fritsch has been up front again. Big time pushes. Close call between him and Anthony English. Good battles between those two. Finds himself up in that top 10. Good striking distance. Of course, we know Gabe Butler has been up there as well. Led laps. He's pushed. One of the few drivers to really get that two-car tandem working on every line, as he has done it on the bottom, the middle, and the top. And then Anthony English, we had talked about him, your outside pole sitter, finds himself in the top 10. Guy knows how to work his way around Talladega. He knows how to work his way around the old Gen 4 and showing that he can still get it done with the new Gen 4. And that is your Nerd TV Top 10 recap.
There you go. There's your top 10. I was kind of curious how you're going to do that because they did pit. A lot of people did on the second go around on this round of caution. So, Bubba Winningham, driver of the 6, out of the race, and he comes on YouTube and says, "Getting hit 3 times in 30 laps is enough." And then he waves goodbye. So, Bubba Winningham not completing tonight's event. Here we go. Pace car down, lap 49. 22 laps remaining in the 7th race of the OP Buttkicker Grand National Series for the Alex Green at Dega. In the restart zone, and we have a green flag. Green. The number 5, Rick Sanchez, taking him to turn number 1.
Taking him to turn number 1 on that inside. He's got Vicente Guerrero as the pusher, but Randy Cornwell up on that high side leading that. Again, we talked about it in the Nerd TV Top 10 recap. He's been in this top 10. He's made the top 10 his home tonight, and he is looking like he is not going to change that. He's getting big pushes from the 36 of Stephen Luttrell. Luttrell really locked in right now, and you can see the momentum they're building on that midline, Jeremy.
Yeah, you're going to see probably this third lane kicking real soon. You got 2 or 3 on the top right now. The mid lane is in full effect for the next probably 3 to 4 laps. Let's see if anyone can get the third lane going once more. It looks like they have a little bit of cars, but then a couple of commitment issues. On the top, the 1692 there. Oh, did you see the 12? Zach Fritsch, I don't know how he just saved it. Somehow got loose in the trial. Massive save by the 12.
Yeah, and these cars here, Jeremy, that's what I've noticed. Drivers seem like they can save these cars a little easier. But it seems like that they can bring them back. I mean, we've seen Stephen Luttrell show us that he can bring it back and keep it keep it off of the track and out of harm's way from other drivers in their cars. We've seen Giffen do that as well. We've seen Vicente Guerrero sit here and save it from going into the wall as well. So they're really showing you what they can do. But up front right now, Stephen Luttrell is taking up point on that inside line. Cornwell is your pusher on the inside. You got Zach Fritsch after that save in the tri-ovals leading the outside with Anthony English being the pusher.
Solid 2x2 still to be had here. 51 laps into this event, 20 to go. On the back straightaway this time, the 12 and the 44 do lead the outside lane. They both can go down double cleared if they want it. The 44 wants the race lead instead, and he gets the cooler engine because of it. He's going to go through turn 3 as a Christmas tree. He settles in on the inside lane there. Now here comes the 51, Travis Elliott. Dustin, he was 7th place last time around, and the 51 is going to lead this thing.
The 51 is going to lead this thing. Big pushes from the 95 of James Mayer, and Travis Elliott does clear. He does get that lap led, and Travis Elliott's been up there pushing. He has pushed a number of these drivers all race long. Finally gets himself up there on a lap led, and now James Mayer is leading that top side. And he has got big-time help from the 999 of Gary Bergeron. And, oh, we got trouble in the back. Gabe Butler upside down.
Man, that's the third car we've seen on top of their lid here tonight. These cars can lose their trunk lid. They can lose everything. We're going to take a look at this. It all started, I think, with the 027 getting involved with the 922. You see it right there on the top half of your screen. Bam, to the outside. There's the contact. It all starts from there.
Yep. And then the wall contact and the trying to figure out the car behind. That is going to be the 929. Just couldn't check up in time. Got in the back of Corsac, and that just spins everybody around. You see Gabe Butler goes for a ride. And Gabe Butler goes for a hell of a ride as well. He may give Everett Lane a run for his money for the the cam tonight.
I mean, I don't want to be on that stat page. We're going to get another look here. Aerial coverage.
Yeah, that's Dalton Wilson in the 929 there. After Corsac got up into the wall, the 929 couldn't check up in time and then goes right back down. Makes contact with the 84 of Len McNeese. McNeese keeps going, but you see it just spearheads everybody down. That's Rick Seabrand's going down there. You see Overstreet going for a spin cycle. That's Gabe Butler. Oh, Andrew Schroeder. Just a little bit of a tap, but looks like he makes it through. And we're going to have to go in-car camera with none other than Gabe Butler on this one here. He sees the contact, thinks he's clear. What a hit on that one.
Heavy shot.
And then gets shot again right there, too.
Upside down, hits the inside wall at a ton of speed. On top of the roof, for that matter. That was a wicked, wicked wreck for the 8th caution. So the official over-under is over. Was the correct answer. 8 cautions here tonight, and Belva Feltz has it. Every single one notated on the YouTube chat. We're at 8. And
she's officially part of the Sanchez fan club, along with Netspy. All right? So we got 2 in the Sanchez fan club.
Welcome aboard. 23 live viewers on YouTube. And glad you're all joining in for the first Gen 4 race at OP. First race we're going to cover. First race, we're truly learning some things. I learned a couple things in my practice, but nothing like this. The only thing better would be on track myself and being hands-on with it, but we're learning a lot from the booth. I know eventually we're going to be doing this at OP at some point in time on a Saturday or a Monday, but it is just so much fun. And these things are on Draft Masters too, the official iRacing series. Draft Masters has the Gen 4, so you got plenty of options to choose from to have fun in these cars.
Absolutely, and like you said, I mean, we're learning a lot of stuff. We had chat messages earlier from Zach Fritsch, one of the admins here for the OP Buttkicker Grand National Series, and they stated that that the admins and the league knew that this was going to be a big night as far as numbers, because I mean a lot of drivers want to run this new Gen 4 car. Also meant a big night because it's going to be a big learning night. A lot of these drivers haven't ran with, a pack this size, and with a lot of these drivers with this new car, so they're learning, what moves they make, what they tend to be, and what their tendencies, are. So it's a big night all around, and we still, wow, was that Brian Wang just cut right through the Yellowwood pit entry corner there. He's just mowing the grass. He's just helping out a little bit.
Yeah. Just that was very nice of him, right? To kind of assist with the yard work here at Talladega. That's a lot of grass to cut, by the way. The biggest infield in all of NASCAR on an oval side here. So 1 lap to green. I'm going to restart this thing on lap 56. So 15 laps remaining in the Alex Green Talladega. And look at this. We talked to Kenny Bishop a while ago, it feels like. And he said, I'm going to wait till the end. And I called him Dale Jarrett. And look at him. Sitting there, P4 on the outside. Is that number 49. So he's doing some things. You got couple of the rooftop boys there, first and third. And, of course, Anthony English, always in the showing. Where is Mark Mann? Where is that 0-4?
16th.
16th place. And I don't think he's had a fastie. Car looks clean. So you know what that means. He's got a chance to win here tonight.
Well, in typical Mark Man fashion, like you said, and the only reason why we say that, folks, is because the guy's got 3 wins this season already. And the other 2 races that he was in, he was wrecked out and wasn't in contention. So if that's what the running joke is, that's what Zach Workman was talking about trying to stop that 0-4 Mark guy from winning. Is he's been on fire this season. But last couple races, he's kind of struggled. But Jeremy, he's kept it clean. And like you said, if he's got a clean car, that 0-4 will find his way up to that top 5 and start duking it out. So it's going to be interesting. You got a solid top 5 right now. Like you said, you got the rooftop team. That's going to be Cornwell and who is that? Whitaker is going to be in that. I mean, that's great. You got 2 teammates that are there, and their other teammate is only 3 cars behind them on that inside lane. So that could work out to their advantage if they sit here and play the cards right.
Yeah, absolutely could. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. There's a lot of single file this time around. And caution. Caution, caution, caution. Right as we got the green flag. So caution number 9. Don't see what's going on. I see a couple cars weaving, trying to get back to where they were. And this was not an admin thrown. I don't see that command given, Dustin. So what happened?
Excellent question.
It happened real quick. Oh, okay, I see it. There was one car outside wall. The 19 Zachary Workman, our stage winner, into the wall before the green flag. Well, on my camera, his car's destroyed, but on your camera, he's looking pretty good. So let's see. Here he is. What happened?
Yeah, we're going to take a look and see what happened here. So this was coming to the restart. And they got the green flag. Oh, man, big checkup. Oh, heavy impact to that outside wall, too. Holy moly, was that a checkup.
Huge check, man. On my screen, his front bumper flew
watch
off.
Watch this check. So they get on the throttle, and that checkup, it's up there with the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. I wonder if he money shifted that, and it checked everybody else up, and Len McNeese just gets in the back of the 19 and sends him wallward bound, and heavy impact there. But yeah, that checkup started way further up, about 6 cars further up with the 14.
All right, Dustin, you know what we have to do. We have to go to the Oakley visor cam on the 14. And my camera shows him restarting in 4th gear. We'll see what your end shows, because you're usually the more accurate one of the 2. Look at that. Yeah, 2,500 RPM. He is not in race gear.
No, he is in 4th gear right now. And then
tries to downshift.
He tries to downshift. Yeah, he did not have that prepared at all, and that's why there was such a check up there, because you just seen the rest of the field take off.
Well, no bueno, or as they say in OP, no presta for the 14. Just, we've only had 9 starts in this race. You would think by 9 starts you would have the proper gear down to restart in, but the 14... not in that camp. But now on this 10th start of this race, maybe we'll finally get there. We're going to restart probably with 10 or 11 to go. Probably 11. And, this should be exciting.
Absolutely, as that was caution number 9 on the night. And like I said, that was an issue with the restart on that. But your top 5 still... remain essentially the same. You have Cornwell and Ryan Whitaker, 2 rooftop teammates, starting on the inside. You have Anthony English, Kenny Bishop starting on the outside, and Sebastian Marin, your pole sitter, has worked his way into the top 5, Jeremy. So we're going to get this restart with about 10 laps left in tonight's Alex Green at Dega event. And your pole sitter has worked his way into the top 5. Some other notable individuals up there. Everett Lane in 6th place. We've seen him go for a topple. So he's up there. We get Brian Wang Tim Abrell, Eric Lowry, Corsek's up there. So Vicente Guerrero still in 15th there. Mark Mann fell back a spot. He lost a spot on that restart, back to 17th. Dana Shepard, we've seen him sit here and take some big-time damage, but he's worked his way back up to 18th. Not out of contention. 10 laps is a lot of time to get some moves going, but you got to make those right calls. Rick Seabrans was involved in an incident, and for that Rick Sanchez fan club, he is in the top 20. But, again, as long as you can make the right calls and the right moves at the right time, you can go from 20th to the front. We seen Zach Workman do that after he restarted sub 20 after taking stage 1 win, Jeremy. So at this point, anything can happen. Nothing is off the table at this point in time.
Nope, we've seen it all. Multiple cars flipping over, restarts in the wrong gear. We've seen 3 wide all day. We have seen 4 wide on pit road. We've seen it all. Almost seen it all on this opening race for the Gen 4 cars here. And pace car lights are off. So Randy Cornwell, driver of the 922, will be restarting first. Anthony English second, Whitaker third, Kenny Bishop fourth, Sebastian Marin. That's your top 5 on this restart with 11 to go. Time to thank one of our partners, RaceEPI.com. If you're looking to put yourself in victory lane today, Elite Performance Industries has y'all's backs. So head there right after this race. Shop through the many selections of setups that they have to offer you on the iRacing platform. And they will guaranteed eventually will get you a checkered flag in whatever you choose, because they're just that damn good and that damn comfortable. So that's RaceEPI.com today.
We have about a half a lap left, Jeremy. Laps are winding down. You are going to see drivers that may be further back. They're going to start making a little bit more of aggressive moves to try to make up the ground to get back up there. We have Nespai saying he can do it. Number 5, talking about Rick Sanchez. Bubba Whittingham coming in saying Sanchez fan club member reporting for duty. So we have another one on there. Bubba, sorry to see that your night ended early, but man, what a sexy paint scheme, my guy. That one there is fire for sure.
I heard Doofy, as you said, reporting for duty.
Thank you, because in my mind, that's all I was thinking of was Deputy Doofy from Scary Movie.
There you go.
Hey, we're nerds, man. We're nerds. We do it.
I knew a reference for once. Check me out. 922, throttle at the ready, green flag. Green flag in the United Rentals restart zone. It's no longer Geico. It's now other sponsors. So United Rentals restart zone has us going. 11 laps to go here. 922, Randy Cornwell, great launch. Going to leave his teammate Ryan Whitaker in the dust momentarily, as he's going to get picked up by Harold Rothery. He finds himself nicely inside the top 10 this time around. Look at the outside. Strength in numbers. Good night, Randy, on the backstretch.
Yeah, big time pushes from the driver of the 49, Kenny Bishop, to Anthony English. You've seen Sebastian Marin jump up right after the start-finish line to that midline in the middle. Now he's going to go down low. 44, Anthony English is going to follow with it. It's going to leave Kenny Bishop up top, but Everett Lane jumps up for help. Try to maintain that draft. Right now, Anthony English, Sebastian Marin leading on that inside lane.
Great run so far to open up this start of the race. Get a little bit of apologies in the back, but I think we're staying green flag here. 10 laps remaining here in the Alex Green at Dega. The top 5 single file. Everybody else 2 by 2 by 2 exiting turn 2.
Exiting turn 2. Oh, Nate Warren into the wall on exit of turn 2. James Mayer had to take evasive maneuvers to go down low. That's going to kick Nate Warren all the way back, and look at the big pushes from Brian Wang to Sebastian Marin right now. They are tandeming there, and look at the distance they are pulling on Kenny Bishop as he's trying to pull them back in with the draft. Everett Lane, big time pushes right now from the 071 of Eric Lowry, as that high line there is trying to get moving in a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to try here. as the laps continue to close in. Now 9 to go. Kenny leading the inside momentarily with Anthony English all over his back bumper here. Here comes the inside now. Going to be Everett Lane. He's going to bring Eric Lowry with him here. As 4 or 5 cars on the inside, everybody else middle or top, middle of the backstretch.
Yeah, you see Rick Sebrin's back there getting pushes right now, trying to get something going on that third lane. Brian Wang goes from the middle lane down to the bottom. He goes from midtown to downtown in front of Everett Lane. And now that's going to put Wang and Marin as your leaders right now. Third lane still trying to get some momentum going up there. But Jeremy, 9 laps to go, 8 as they cross this time. Sebastian Marin still leading right now, and that's the 36 of Stephen Luttrell making his way back up. He makes a move down in front of the Brian Wang in that 05. He's going to try to get himself up to that top spot.
5 cars on the third lane, led by the 4 Rick Sebrands. He has the 95 all over his back bumper. That's James Mayer, who is also still up there, all over him, trying to do anything to get these 5 cars up and rolling. Right now is not the lap. Turn 3 here, going to bring it on to lap 64. 7 laps to go at the line.
7 laps to go right now. Stephen Luttrell commands the inside line. Sebastian Marin the midline. Brian Wang hops up in front of Marin. That's going to have to leave a little bit of gap there until Everett Lane gets back to Luttrell. Brian Wang going to lead that lap. Big pushes from the 48 of Marin right now. Vicente Guerrero looking to try to go down low. Does clear the 36. And they're going to try to get something going. And this is just helping that third lane. Look at Rick Sebrands with the big pushes from James Mayer.
Yeah, huge pushes here. Look at this 2-car breakaway. This is not going to last long, but that's what tangoing looks like in the Gen 4. They've just long gone separated for the time being, but look at the closing rate of the 36. They don't block them because of that delta difference side by side. Here comes the 36-24 to lead this time around.
Yeah, that 2-car tandem is great, but only in short stints. Temperature starts playing a difference, and then again, the runs that are built up. 36 of Luttrell going to sit here and lead that lap. Everett Lane, big pushes there. Eric Lowry, third in line back there, and that's where you're going to find that midline now of Wang and Marin. They're now neck and neck with third place of Eric Lowry. Third lane still trying to get something going as Nate Warren hops up there. Now Sebastian Marin hops up there. He's going to leave Wang in that center lane as Everett Lane sat here and jumped up as well. Jeremy, this draft and the way these drivers are starting to learn and to use it is a thing of beauty.
Oh, it is an amazing race to watch. Everybody 3 wide now. 6 laps remaining, 5 to go at the line through the trial. But we don't know who's going to be leading every single lap. So we're just going to enjoy this massive amount of 3 wide. If they can keep it green flag the rest of the way, that'd be fantastic. Now, how do they navigate 3 wide like this?
Yeah, it's, again, a thing of beauty as long as they can do that. And you see that, I mean, they're pushing. They are pushing hard. You see Nate Warren got a little out of funk there from a push from Rick Sebrands. These drivers are doing everything they can. Now we got a 3-car breakaway. That's Sebastian Marin, Everett Lane, Brian Wang. They're out there, and wow, what a mouthful that was. But they're starting to separate themselves. Nate Warren finds himself in 4th. He drops to the low line. Everett Lane drops down now, leaving Marin out there. Wang goes out there to help out Marin.
Little 4-car breakaway momentarily, not going to last long. Here comes Rick Sebrands, James Mayer in the 95. They're going to look to get into second. Oh, back in the back. Zach Fritz, Stephen Luttrell, Kenny Bishop, and a lot more pile in here. Zach gets the worst of it.
Oh, no, I think Luttrell got the worst of that one. He went for a hell of a ride there. Stephen Luttrell gets collected in that one. And we're going to have to take a look and see exactly how this started. So it started from a bump, and it was 4 wide. Luttrell had to go down to the apron there, had to re-merge back up. You see 4 wide. It's Kenny Bishop. It's Zach Fritch, and then that looks like Travis Elliott up top, and it looked like Kenny Bishop was trying to give room, seeing that Luttrell was merging back up and knowing Lowry was there, and just drifted up and made contact with the 12, and Holy moly, man. We had 3 cars go up. That's also Alex Giffen that went up there. So, yeah, I still say Luttrell got the worst end of that one, though.
Absolutely. We're going to cycle through this replay of this massive wreck here for the 10th caution tonight. Let's bring in our last time, the number 49 in-race caffeine team member, Kenny Bishop, as he... Actually, no, here we go. Oakley visor cam. One more view of the wreck. There it is. Gets hooked, blindsided, basically, to the outside lane. Tumble, 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 all the way down that 28, 29-degree banking.
Jeez.
And as he gets to the grass, it just goes more.
Yeah, I'd say that one there was worse than Everett Lane's from earlier. I think right now Luttrell holds the top spot on probably the wildest flips so far tonight.
Yeah, 100% there. See cars still smoking, a lot of damage. And here we go. We're gonna bring in Mr. Kenny Bishop here. Kenny, this is Jeremy. What's up, man?
Dang.
You barely avoided that one with just a touch bit of damage there near the right front. First off, do you have to change those pants after this race? And second off, how's the car handling after that?
Not sure how it's going to handle. I mean, it was a little bit where he came across the nose. Luttrell, I thought, was spinning, so I came up a little bit, and then I saw Zach on the outside, so I tried to give him room, and I know we were full wide, and I don't know what happened there, but might have a little bit of damage. We'll see what happens.
All right, so you're not going to come down pit road because we got the green-white checkered for this restart. How is the car when it comes to wreck avoidance? You just had to kind of have a quick jerk of the wheel there. Does it feel like it's planted to the ground?
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, you got to really jerk it to spin it out. But the draft on these things, they'll suck up pretty good, and if you fall down. But yeah, if you can time it with a tandem, you can probably get enough if you can time it correctly to get to the line. But if not, you just get blown by. I don't know if you saw English there. He was on the inside line and just by himself, and everyone just blew by him. So I don't know if being out front's the way to be on the last lap, because you might be a sitting duck.
Yeah, there's a couple of tandems that just happened recently, and after that half a lap, they had a release. And yeah, sitting duck that's a good way to put it. They had so much decrease in speed, and it's kind of crazy. I've been seeing a lot of guys in the top 10 go from like 7th to 1st, 8th to 1st in one lap or so. So you're not out of this thing by any means, man. So good luck to you, and go get them.
Appreciate it. Yep, we'll see what we can do, see if we can get a top 10 out of it.
Yes, sir, absolutely. That was Kenny Bishop there, caffeine team member there, presented by Brez Coffee Co. If you're looking for coffee grounds, head yourself over to brezcoffeeco.com, search the word nerd, and you're going to have 2 flavors that pop up. We are that packaging right there on your screen on the left-hand side, the white background with the video game consoles, the churro-flavored coffee grounds. That is sugary sweet joysticks. That's our specific one from brezcoffeeco.com. Pick yourself up a bag, enjoy it, cold brew it, hot brew it, however you want to do it. I forget how I rhymed it still. I think I kind of had it. Dustin, do you have my back on that one? I'm still working out the kinks.
Yeah, you had it for the most part. I give you credit on that. You had it for the most part, my man. Yeah, you could hot brew it, cold brew it, however you want to do it. There you go.
So close. And
so close.
I tried to run it on and it didn't work, so.
That's all right. We got William Luttrell in the chats, and I had to chuckle while you were talking to KB because his question was, or his response and statement was, I hope he's okay. Talking about Stephen Luttrell. He is definitely taking the wildest ride tonight in these new Gen 4s. And it's unfortunate because, I mean, he got blindsided. You seen it from the Oakley visor cam. Had no idea what was going on. He was going into turn 1, and next thing you know, he was 90 degrees and looking at the 33-degree banking up the track into the corner, into the wall, and then just went for a hell of a ride. So it's an unfortunate thing. But, Jeremy, You and I, along with the rest of the Nerd Esports guys, we sit here and partake with the OP drivers as well in super speedways, and we know that's a thing that could happen. Sometimes the luck is there, and sometimes you can make all the right calls, and you still come up short.
Absolutely is the case here. All right, this should be the last restart here this evening. Fingers crossed on that. We are on lap 71 of the green flag, so we are in overtime. Let's see if these guys can settle out for just 2 more laps here for the Alex Green at Dega. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our broadcast here this evening. We're live again tomorrow night, same time frame, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, for the Pro Sim Racing Alliance ARCA Series. We're going to go live them in just a little under 24 hours. But here we go. Green flag about to happen. Sebastian Marin in the 48. Going to lead this field to the green flag. Here we go. Green, 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 green. This thing is back underway.
Back underway. Sebastian Marin, excellent start there. Oh, contact between Brian Wang and Rick Seabrins there. That's going to slow that up. You see Marin jumps to the midline in front of Brian Wang. Those two have been working very well together with their tandem. But look at Vicente Guerrero and Rick Seabrins in that tandem. And look who is working his way in the picture. The 0-4 of Mark Mann, third in line on that inside line. We are 2 by 2 by 2. Jeremy, 2 laps to go. Oh,
No.
Contact made in the back. Remember, iRacing cautions only right now. Big time. Len McNeese is going to have that. Chris Jordan is going to have a piece of that. But it looks like we are staying green right now. iRacing cautions only. Rick Seabrins leads the inside lane.
Here we go. White flag, 1 to go. Presented by absolutely nobody. Mark Mann. Can he do it? Back in 7th place. Has a shot still to win this thing. The outside lane has the momentum momentarily. 48.05. Who's going to cut to the bottom? Who's going to go to the outside? More wrecking in the back. We stay green. This will not be a caution because the white flag is out. And that is going to shuffle up some things for sure. Turn 3, Dustin. Here we go. The 95. James Mayer trying to get his first win this season.
Trying to get his first win. Big pushes from Rick Seabrins side by side with Sebastian Marin. Rick is giving Mayer the business. Oh, and it looks like Marin gets loose. That's going to slow them up. That's going to set it up right now for James Mayer. Move of the race. Going from midtown to downtown. Big pushes from Seabrins. James Mayer wins the Alex Green at Dega.
That's got to be a little extra special to have the first win in this car in this league on the shelf of the 95. And I'm sure he is pumped and thrilled about this one. What a hell of a racer at the end. These cars love drafting, love super speedways. If it wasn't for the cautions that were out tonight, this thing is what an amazing show here, and James is excited, man.
Oh, absolutely. And that was a heck of a move, too. And James made it so abrupt that he almost lost it going from the midline to the low line and was able to maintain it. And then the push from Rick Seabrins to give James Mayer that little extra edge after contact between Wang and Marin happened there. A little bit of a bump that Sebastian Marin's car just did not like. He's seen a little bit of wobble there, and that was enough to seal the deal for that man right there. Driver of the number 95, James Mayer.
Burn it down, man. Burn it down. Celebrate around this very large front straightaway here in this Jeff Gordon paint scheme. I think this was a Talladega paint scheme too, so how fitting is this as it continues to burn it down? Here's your unofficial results. We got 40 plus entries, so we're going to kind of fly through them here. The most important are the top 3. That's the ones we talked to. So that's James Mayer, Rick Seabrins, and Vicente Guerrero. And that's who we will bring in momentarily. Then you have Sebastian Marin and Mark Mann to round out the top 5. 6 through 10 is Brian Wang, Jimmy Reynolds, Anthony English, Nathan Warren, and Everett Lane. 11th through 15th is Eric Lowry, Dana Shepard, Zachary Workman, Rick Sanchez, and Gary Bergeron. 16 through 20 Zach Fritz, Justin Coy, Dalton Wilson, Ryan Whitaker, and K.R. Stolfus. 21st through 30th is going to be Timothy Abrell, Harold Rothery, Jeff Crosby Sr. Jr. as they go 1-2 there, and 23rd, 24th. We got Alex Giffen, Christopher Jordan, Dwayne Corbett, Scott Wise, Randy Cornwell, and Travis Elliott. 31st on back. Kenneth Bishop, Stephen Korosek, Stephen Luttrell, Len McNeese, Gabe Butler, Derek Donna, David Overstreet, Andrew Schroeder, Dude Conrad, Bubba Winningham, Chris Lewis, Gene Watkinson, Andy Berganti, and John Guerrero. 44 entries here for race number 7. We're going full screen. We'll be right back. And back for post-race show action here as we got our top 3 to talk to. As we got them all lined up in the waiting room waiting for us to pull them one by one. And first person on the docket is the number 14, third place finisher tonight. Vicente Guerrero, driver the 14. What's going on, man?
What a...
Well, you found the first 2 wrecks out of the 10 cautions, so you struggled there. How did you recover from multiple wrecks to find yourself in third place tonight?
Honestly, I have absolutely no idea. I mean, I was just somehow up here, fuel mileage, I guess, and I guess thank God that we didn't have to pit for fuel, because I probably would have sped through the pits. But yeah, I was just up there trying to fuel mileage and save fuel and stay up front. I guess track position here with this new Gen 4 is key, and yeah, just trying to stay up front.
Well, you did a pretty good job at that when you got there. Did you have to use the fast repair early on and just kind of, was thankful that you didn't have to do anything else with it?
No, I didn't have to. I had to say I had my fast repair still.
So, okay.
So
okay.
I only had like that first spin that I had. I didn't have any damage because I avoided the wall. I popped that thing in reverse to get off the wall.
Right.
And then the second one, I think I had like 45 seconds.
Oh, so it wasn't that bad. Okay.
Nah, it wasn't bad.
Okay, I wasn't sure. These new cars are so many unknowns. I don't know how sensitive these are. It looks like they're not sensitive. How's the drafting out there?
Terrible.
Oh, okay. So next answer. Continue.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the car because basically this is almost like my first time running this new Gen 4, and the draft package is terrible. I mean, you have to run like where the momentum's at. So if it's switching lanes and staying with that run and but you got to have like 2, 3 cars in line, because if you try to go out and try to make a move on your own, you're parachuting to the back.
Yeah,
And then
Gen
nobody's going to want to pick you up because you're so slow that you're just falling back.
Yeah, Gen 4 is its own beast. I know countless. I'm like, I go back and I watch these videos of the races in early 2000s. I'm like, and me personally, I'm like, how do people like watching this? They're like single file for 10 rows or 10 car lengths back, and then you have some 2 wide and 3 wide, and it's its own artwork. So, it's a learning curve, and so
Yeah.
terrible
And
from
yeah,
your camp.
and you got to have cars, car count to make a move. If the runs, they're all lined up 5 deep, and the bottom's got 2, 3 cars, the middle's gonna roll. Um, but at the end there, I was hoping somebody would jump down, honestly, because I mean I was pushing hard on Mark there, or Rick, and we were going backwards. So luckily, Mary jumped down right there and helped us with that run out of 4.
Yeah, 10-4 on that, man. Well, congratulations on P3 tonight. Any shout outs before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to shout out my folks there in Arizona, my mom and dad. Shout out with my wife here at home. I want to shout out my Napresta Esports team and this Budweiser that I run, and you guys for broadcasting, and OP for what they do and all their admins. It's tough running with us, so yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, 10-4 on that, man. All right, man. Well, have a good rest of your night, and we'll catch you next Wednesday.
10-4. See you, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. Now, Vicente Guerrero not happy with the drafting. He's
No.
I remember, like I said in the pre-race, I said you're going to have a different group of drivers up at the front. Well, yeah, minus Vicente, like Rick Sebrands is 50-50 and James Mayer is new. So this will be fun to talk to these guys. But terrible from the 14. Let's get the opinions of the number 4, Rick Sebrands, now. So we're going to bring him in.
Yeah.
Rick Sebrands finishing P2 tonight, man. What's going on? Congratulations.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. We'll take that over here. Like I was just, I think I was just mentioning to Jim, this might be like my 4th start over here on Wednesdays this season. I think this might be like the first time I finished all season, man. It's, yeah, I don't know what to do. This is unusual for me on Wednesdays.
Well, 4th start, car number 4, so that makes sense.
Sure. Take it.
It's a brand new car to everybody. Almost entirely no practice. The
Yeah.
car got announced, and it was just thrown into the schedule, like just early's convenience. And so,
Liked it. It's something, I know I'm in the minority on that. I know it's not going to be overly popular, but I like the car. It's something different, and it's something fresh that we normally don't race besides the truck and Xfinity. And I mean, a new car and the way they package it, and we had 44 cars out here tonight take this green. So, I mean, that tells you everything you need to know there. Everybody wants to try it out. Everybody wants to test it. We spent most of that race just kind of learning the runs and, just seeing what the thing would do.
I think on the grand picture, you're going to be a majority of the people who like the car.
I hope so. I'd like to see it added more. If we could add it on a whim, for tonight, maybe we can add it on a whim for a couple other nights, a couple other weekends.
These things are drafted exactly, I feel like, how they did 20 years ago. So it was just like watching a replay from then. So
yeah, and that highlight alone, I was giving Vince, so much credit for the end that green white checkered, man. He worked so hard to keep us with good track position and keep momentum up there in that low line, which is super hard to do with the way these runs are on that outside. So he did a phenomenal job as much as he could. And then, Jim took advantage of those runs on the high side and cleared there, man. And we kind of hooked up just in time, man. So big congrats to him tonight, and great pushing on Vince's part too.
You're 100% there. The guy who starts dead last, 44th to 2nd place, man. Congrats on P2. Any final shout-outs?
Thanks to all the fans out there watching at home. You guys for broadcasting it to the fans. OP, all the admins, they must be doing something right, man. 44 cars tonight, man. There ain't no other leagues doing that. So, big props to them. And, yeah, Greg, congrats again to Jim.
All right, man. Go ahead and celebrate, and we'll catch you next Wednesday.
All right, thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Driver the number 4, starting in 44th place in his 4th start, Rick Seabrands gets it done P2, not number 4, here this evening. And now, to load up the Victory Fuel Victory Lane scene, we're going to bring in first-time winner in 2025 Season 2, James Mayer. What's up, man? Congratulations.
Hey, thanks. That was fun.
All right, so we were 50-50 on general consensus of the car. One said terrible.
You're the
one said
tiebreaker, Jim.
great.
You're the tiebreaker.
It's a tiebreaker. Is it good or bad?
I like it.
It's a,
I think it's it's different. I think I think the drafting's there. I think the pushing's there. I like it. So it's got a yes vote for me.
well, you did a fantastic job working through the traffic multiple times. The outside lane worked well for you. What did you learn from the first half of the race to apply it to the second half to get you in this position?
Keep the momentum. That is one thing with these. If you lose that momentum, it takes a good while to get the momentum back. So if you're in a line that's moving, hopefully nobody tries to block it, because if that happens, it's like throwing a parachute. Keeping it clean. I got caught up there a little bit. Damage wasn't too bad, so they were able to bang some dents out, I guess. So we finished the race with a quick repair in our pocket. So we'll always take that.
Yeah, even with a quick repair, new car, 10 cautions, and you had a quick repair in the pocket. So
yeah, that's we were able to avoid most of them. Rode in the back there for a good while, just trying to make sure we were there at the end. So I think it's it's new. It's going to take a little while, a couple of races to learn, but I like the car. I think it's a nice addition to the rotation, but I guess I'm just one person, one vote.
All right, man. Well, last question to send you off. I'm not too familiar with the OP rulebook, but you've only had 3 starts now in 7 events. You got to win, so you're locked in if you can do it just by participation. I'm not sure what that threshold looks like, but are you going to close this thing out, starting every single race at this point, knowing you have a W?
I'll do my best to make them when I can. I work like a rotating schedule with work, so I'm bound to miss a couple here and there. But I think it is. I think you have to have a certain number of starts. I don't know if I'll actually make the threshold or not, but that's all right. If I can get a win, steal one from these guys, that's always, it's tough to do in this league. So, if I can come out and steal one, I always will.
Stealing it for the first ever win in this car in this league, man. He's like, I might be a part-timer and still show up and take some checkered flags from y'all. So there you go. All right, dude, congratulations to you. Awesome job out there all night long. Any shout-outs you want to give out?
Yeah, of course, to all the guys at OP that, have kept this league running for as long as it has been. I know it's not an easy thing to do, is to manage a league. So, shout out to those guys. All the guys I race with, Anthony, Mark, Rick, Andrew, all those guys. Rick squared, Sanchez in there also. They keep it fun. Big shout out to Rick and Vince there for the big push there. After we got 3 cars clear on top, which I didn't think was going to happen. So I thought I was just going to be there, and I was more than content, sticking with the 2 in front of me there just to have a clean finish. But got clear, so figured I'd jump down and got a big push from Rick. So Rick and Vince. So big shout out to them, and of course you guys up in the booth putting on the show.
All right, man. Yeah, appreciate all that, and congratulations once more. Go ahead and celebrate, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. James Mayer, winner of tonight's race for race 7 for the Alex Green at Dega. And Dustin, Gen 4. We were highly anticipating this race when it was announced that they were going to be bringing this car to tonight's race. Even though we had 10 cautions, what's your final take?
Even with 10 cautions, I mean, I guess I go into the mindset that I knew it was going to be there was going to be a learning curve to it. I mean, it's a new model. Like I said, big field, 44 drivers. That's a huge field. in a lot of these drivers' first time running around some of these other drivers in a new car. So there was going to definitely be a learning curve on that. But even with the 10 cautions, I mean, what we seen, you know, we had spurts of just pure amazement out of this car. And I was like you, Jeremy, it took me back to watching early 2000s. Like I was watching a NASCAR race at Talladega. I mean, the way that these cars move, the way that these drivers handled the cars, what they did with them. I mean, the 3 wide, you know, we did the aerial coverage. I mean, it was a beautiful shot. I mean, the moves, the tandeming, I mean, it had that old school feel. I love it. You know, I agree. My vote doesn't count, but you know what? I mean, more of these cars, I would love it. It definitely has that old school vibe to it. And the more that these drivers run with it, the cleaner they're going to get, the less cautions are going to happen, and the more excitement and the more thrills that are going to take place.
And it increases their skill set, right? That's another car. It's another set of skills to make the checker flags fall your way. So, yeah, let's get it on the schedule. It'd be kind of cool to get a consistent 3-car rotation with this one. Actually, really 4 if they stick with the old Gen 4. We'll see how that plays out. But all right, guys, we're going to close this thing out. Appreciate all of y'all joining in on YouTube and Facebook. And we're going to, like I said, go live tomorrow night. We have some ARCA fixed action going on. And then Sunday as well for the Global Racing League Truck Series. So you guys stay safe. Get your nerd on. Dustin, what you got for him?
And as always, it's not goodbye. It's just till next time. Stay nerdy.
Back when nothing truly